Welcome back to another session of vocabulary for class 8th, 9th and 10th. This is the second part of la description d'une personne, how you describe a person. Now in the previous part we looked at the physical description of a person, that is how you talk about the hair, okay, about the looks of a person and so on. In this part we are doing la description psychologique, the characteristics, the traits of a person. How do you describe someone's character? Okay, so again, these are all adjectives. They will change based on the number and gender of the noun you are describing. Let's get started. First, let's start with the positive qualities, the positive characteristics, and then we will get into the negative characteristics, which are mostly the opposites of these. So let's start. Polite is poli. The feminine takes an E. The pronunciation stays the same, poli. Gentil is kind. The feminine takes double L-E. Pronunciation is the same, gentil. Aventureux is adventurous. Okay, that's in the masculine with an X. Feminine becomes E-U-S-C. Aventureuse. Then you have generous is généreux in the masculine, généreuse in the feminine. Generally, these EUX ending adjectives in the masculine become EUSE in the feminine. Then you have passion is patient. Okay, drôle is funny. Okay, someone who makes you laugh. Courageux in the masculine, courageuse in the feminine is courageous or brave. Then you have attentif in the masculine, attentive in the feminine is attentive. Then we move on to créatif in the masculine, créative in the feminine is creative or artistic. Then you have bavard in the masculine, bavard in the feminine, which is someone who is chatty, talkative. Then you have sociable in the masculine and in the feminine. Sociable is someone who is sociable, social. Okay. Then you have amical in the masculine. Pronunciation stays the same in the feminine, but when you're writing it, takes an extra E, is friendly. Sage in the masculine and feminine is wise. Fiable in the masculine and feminine is reliable, someone whom you can trust, trustworthy. Then you have travailleux and travailleuse in the feminine for hardworking. Sérieux and sérieuse, masculine and feminine, for someone who is serious. Then we have ponctuel in the masculine, ponctuel only in the feminine, but the spelling changes to a double L-E, punctual. Then we have spirituel in the masculine and in the feminine, double L-E, pronunciation stays the same, which is witty. Okay, someone who cracks witty jokes. Then you have sympathetic in the masculine and in the feminine, which is a general feeling of a nice person. Okay, kind, gentle, polite, all those together make up this word sympathetic. Then you have intelligent in the masculine, intelligent in the feminine, for someone clever, smart. Competitive in the masculine, competitive in the feminine, for someone who is competitive. Optimist, masculine and feminine, same thing, optimistic. Responsable, masculine, feminine, same, responsible. Confiant in the masculine, confiante in the feminine, for someone who is confident. Then you have extraverti in the masculine with an extra E in the feminine, for extroverted, someone who's outgoing. Then you have honnête in the masculine and in the feminine, for someone who's honest. You have sournois and sournoise in the feminine, for someone who is cunning. Okay, someone who is sly. That's why you see the picture of the fox there. Calm in the masculine and in the feminine, for someone who is calm. Paresseux in the masculine, paresseuse in the feminine, for someone who is lazy. Insouciant, insouciante, for someone who is careless. Silencieux in the masculine, silencieuse in the feminine, for someone who is quiet. Pessimist in the masculine and in the feminine, for someone who is a pessimist, always negative. Then you have introverti for someone who is introverted with an extra E for the feminine. Malhonnête, masculine and feminine, is someone who is dishonest. Fâché with an extra E in the feminine, for someone who is angry all the time. Méchant and méchante in the feminine, for someone who is mean or wicked. Aggressive and aggressive for someone who is aggressive. Egoist, both for the masculine and for the feminine, someone who is selfish, doesn't like to share. Ennuyeux, masculine. Ennuyeuse, feminine, for someone who is boring. Timid, masculine and feminine, for someone who is shy. Then you have gourmand in the masculine, gourmand in the feminine, for someone who is greedy. Arrogant, arrogant in the feminine, someone who is arrogant. Jaloux and jalouse in the feminine, someone who is jealous. Cruel with a double L-E in the feminine, for someone who is cruel. Maladroit and maladroite in the feminine is someone who is clumsy, can also generally be used for someone who is awkward. And poli with an extra E in the feminine is for someone who is rude, impolite. Irresponsible, masculine and feminine, someone who is not responsible at all. And lastly, you have negligent in the masculine, negligent in the feminine, negligent, someone who doesn't care. With this, we have finished up with the second part of describing a person. The first part we talked about la description physique, physical description. This part we've spoken about the characteristics, the personality traits of people. La description psychologique. Thank you.